Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. You guys know the vibes, man. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. It is about that time, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's about that time. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody's ready to lock in. We got a big night ahead of us. Got a big week ahead of us. It's gonna be a good one, man. It's gonna be a good one for sure. I haven't even looked at the football game. All I know is a lot of you guys fucked me over. You guys told me to bet on the Chiefs, and now I'm getting fucking absolutely annihilated. I would have rather took that fucking $1,000 and went and played on stake or blackjack or something, man. You guys told me to bet on the Chiefs, and fucking it's owed 24. Don't worry, y'all. I'm going to get y'all on the back end with a trade. Don't worry. I'm going to go look at every single name that voted for the Chiefs. I'm going to wait for this week, and I'm going to DM you a special trade. Gotcha. Don't worry. Whoever told me to fucking bet on the Chiefs, you're getting a special trade this week. Straight to your DM. Not joking. Straight to your DM. Special trade. Trust me, it's a lock. Trust me. It's a lock. It's a lock. Trust me. Just trust it. It's gonna be a fucking lock. Give me 1 second here, y'all, and we'll get this thing rocking. Give me 1 second here, y'all. Bing. 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 Said Eagles. Some of you guys said Eagles. Some of you guys said Chiefs. I mean, I don't care. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm just fucking with y'all. Alrighty, man. Let's do the damn thing. You guys know the vibes, man. Welcome. Welcome. The score 24-0. Jeez, oh flip. Alrighty, let's get it. You guys know the vibes, man. We're gonna start off with the economic calendar here, and then we're gonna get into the watch list for the week ahead. Let's get it. Quite an eventful night tonight, man. Unfortunately, I did not catch anything, but that's a massive move. NQ's up like 300 points, something like that. But as always, let's go ahead and kick it off here with the economic calendar, and then we'll get into the watch list for the week ahead. For anybody that's new here, as I stated, welcome. For everybody that tunes in weekly, appreciate you. Let's get it. It's not over. I mean, I don't know much about football, but just being growing up a sports person, I think the likelihood of them scoring 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion in the next quarter is very unlikely, right? I think that is very, very unlikely. If the Chiefs came back and won this, it's the most scripted thing ever. I would say it's beyond scripted. They would have to score 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, or 4 touchdowns. It's the only way. It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. Am I right or wrong? For anybody that watches football all the time, does shit like that happen? Like, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think so. I don't think shit like that happens, at least, right? Like yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. In stock terms, that's like you being down 99% on SPX and you're praying it goes back to break even. There's a 99% chance it's not going back to break even, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, right now, the Eagles are smoking, right? Like the Chiefs are down 99.9% on SPX at 3:30 p.m. on a Friday. It's not coming back. You know what I mean? Like, you need a miracle. Like, that's in stock terms. You know what I mean? Like that's it. You know what I mean? Alrighty, you guys, let's get it. So going into Monday, February 10th. That's the start of this week here. No important data on Monday. Important data starts on Tuesday, February 11th. Actually, it's not really data. It's just Powell talking, which I got to look into. He's testifying on Tuesday, February 11th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely be aware around that time. You don't want to be too heavy into a position, especially with the recent market conditions. You guys know me. I'm not political at all. I don't give a fuck who won, to be honest with you. Am I excited Trump won? Yes, but that's strictly from a market standpoint. And that market standpoint is conditions are a lot better. I've seen that from his previous presidency versus Biden. Trump market was a lot better. As you guys are seeing now, volatility is a lot more frequent. Price action is a lot cleaner. So I'm for that, right? I don't care who's president, long as the market's nice. Right now the market's nice. It's a little volatile, but it's nice. I have to look into what he's testifying about. But yeah, Tuesday, 10 a.m., Powell's talking. Make sure you put that on your calendar, set an alarm. Wednesday, big day here. We have Powell talking again, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The most important here being CPI at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is going to be Wednesday, February 12th. And then obviously we have Thursday, our usual jobless claims, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by PPI, which is at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. And that is Thursday, February 13th. Friday in the week, retail sales, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is going to conclude the data for this upcoming week. Again, for the people in the back, Powell testifying 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Wednesday, biggest day of the week, we have CPI at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powell's testifying again at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Thursday, big morning as well. Jobless claims, PPI, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Friday, February 14th, which I think is Valentine's Day, retail sales, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's what we got to look forward to for the week ahead. Alrighty, you guys, let's get into these charts now. We're going to kick it off this week with NQ. I know a lot of you guys like to follow along, so let me know when you guys are ready. I'm going to go ahead and take my shirt off because I'm fucking smoking. No pun intended. Bro, I gotta fix my thermostat in my office because it's like extreme highs and extreme lows. Like the other day I showed you guys, it was like 92 degrees in here. Literally fucking almost roasted myself. And right now, it's 87. Why? I couldn't tell you. I don't have it set on anywhere near that. But, yeah. Oh! Alright, let's get... Pal. Alright. You guys ready? Let's get it. It is about that time, man. You guys know it. Let's get it. Let's go. Alrighty here. This is the monthly time frame for NQ. Not much has changed, right? It's pretty much the same thing we looked at last week. If you just want to dive deep real quick into the current monthly state, I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on here, right? Well, we're very bullish, right? Overall structure here on the monthly is still very much so bullish, without doubt. Couple important notes here is now we have an inside bar, right? Like this is usually a bullish indication, right? So if you're looking at this chart from a monthly standpoint, right, this is very bullish. Right, we have our higher highs, we have our higher lows, and now we're forming this nice flag here on the monthly. So from a monthly standpoint, I would still consider this chart very, very, very bullish, without doubt. Weekly, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? You look at this chart as well. We still have our higher highs, still have our higher lows. Now we're just forming this nice little bull flag here on the weekly as well. I would consider this also a very bullish chart. And you guys know those two C's are very important when going through these time frames, confluence and conflict. So monthly, weekly, they're both in confluence. You get down into the daily. This is where the little conflict steps in, right? Obviously, the overall trend is very much so still bullish as well here on the daily. But what we've seen recently up at this major supply here at 22,000 is we're really struggling, right? We're struggling heavily. Every time we've tested this 22,000, it's provided a massive dump. Test, massive dump. Test, massive dump. Even Friday, testing that supply again, closing extremely weak with a bearish pin bar. And then now here is where we're currently at. So from a daily standpoint, I would throw in a big, confusion mark here because it's there's no clear decision, right? Like obviously the overall structure is still in an uptrend, but for the past, I don't even know how long this has been, we've been stuck in this range for the past 2 months, right? We've just been pinned in this range, which is it's a very nice range. Don't get me wrong, this is a very nice range. If you look at like how much it actually is, like this is huge. The range is a 1,300 point move, right? So it's a very tradable range. It's just we got to get out of it, you know. Action is really starting to tighten up here, and it's not going to be good the longer we sit here. I mean, it's good and bad, and I'll explain in a second. But big watches this week, as I was talking about. What I want to watch right now here at this moment is before anything else happens. Right now, you guys can see, right? I want to talk about this before anything else because I'm very tempted to take this trade right this second. Friday, right? Pushed back into this major supply, tested, and failed, right? Closed a bearish engulfing on the daily. Awesome, cool. Overnight, we gapped down to this big demand here, which is 21,425. Tonight, we've seen pretty much a 300-point move back into this supply here at 21,700. In my opinion, this is valid for a reject, right? This is just a classic break and retest of this major level here at this 21,700. So in my opinion, as long as we're below this 21,700, we can look for that reject there for a move back down into this 21,500, 21,425. In terms of continuation, though, right? Big levels. If we get above 21,700, that's where we can look to buy the dip again. I think this is going to squeeze back into highs here, 21,900, potentially even that 22,000. Downside, like I said, as long as we're below this 21,700, I think you could use this level as a reference for a reject. If we start pulling back here, as I stated, the big demand is that 21,425. If we pull back into it, you could look for a demand bounce here. But obviously, in terms of continuation, we need to get back below that, which would open the door for a move back down to this 21,000, 20,700 area. But a trade right this second, I don't mind, is that reject here. As you guys can see, we rejected that 21,700, and right now we're kind of just forming this beautiful little drop base here after rejecting that 21,700. So in reality, there's two ways you could trade this. You could wait for the drop base rally, or you could wait for that drop base drop. Due to the context, I would be more inclined to trade that drop base drop. So there's two, like I said, you know, you can go little short literally right now with the stop above this high here, which is exactly 21,680, which I'm going to do personally. I'm about to take this right now. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up my shit. Let me see. We'll keep an eye on it for a second. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it for a second. So yeah, big level here this week. NQ 21,700. That's the major supply. Major demand 21,425. These are kind of our parameters for the week, right? As long as we're below this 21,700, we can look for a reject here, back down to that 21,500. If we get above that 21,700, we can look for that dip back into 21,900. Obviously, we got this major demand, 21,500, 21,425. We can look for that demand bounce, but the main watch can be get below that for that continuation. And that's the game plan there on NQ. I am watching this setup right now because this range is too tight, right? This range is going to break here in a moment, and we should get at least a 20, 30 point move. Because NQ is just consolidating way too tight right now. Let's see. Kind of want to take it, but I kind of want to wait. That's what I'm looking at right now. Kind of want to take it. I kind of want to wait. A little toss up here. A little toss up. Give me 1 second. Let me post the link over here as well. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want to be too early, especially with the strength we've seen tonight. I don't want to be too early. But I do know if we break, this is going to get pretty ugly. Ugly schmugly. We'll give it a second. If we can get a good entry and hold throughout the live, that would be awesome. Whoops, sorry. What I was saying, sorry. I don't know how that happened. I think I pressed the top. But what I was saying was, as you guys look at this chart, the same thing, we've pretty much seen the same thing for the past 2 weeks, right? We initially had that first dump here, tested the demand, ripped Monday into Friday, tested that supply, dump, demand, Monday to Friday, rip, and dump. And then obviously this is where we're at right now. That's what I was saying. And it's kind of just, it's a tough area to be in, right? It's a very tough area to be in because of that. Like we're trading smack dead in the middle of that range, right? Like if you look at the range we're trading in right now, we're sitting directly in the middle of it. Like we're in the midpoint of that range. And if you look back at how we've traded throughout here, it's not been very friendly. So definitely tricky. Definitely going to be tricky for us. But yeah, I mean, if you look at this chart, like from a daily standpoint, like the dailies look identical, right? So if you look at the daily, we had that massive dump off that supply, demand test, Monday to Friday rip, supply test, dump, Monday to Friday rip, supply test, and obviously we're seeing that same pullback here. So the big question is, where do we go? You know what I mean? Like it's a tough area to be in. But that's what I'm watching on NQ. Let's go over here to ES. It's a similar chart, honestly. Monthly standpoint, if you look at ES, everything's pretty much the same. It's higher highs, higher lows are still intact. In my opinion, this is still bullish over anything, right? We're just forming a nice little bull flag here on the monthly, which we've seen multiple times previously. Another touchdown by who? So yeah, it's over. It's GG's. Damn, the Chiefs really got skunked in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. Imagine Chiefs fans right now. Like, I would leave. Like, if I was a Chiefs fan, I would get up and fucking leave. Like, even being in that stadium, you know how embarrassing that is? Like, for a team to make it to a Super Bowl and not even get a touchdown in the Super Bowl, you're just getting absolutely obliterated. That's like in gym, and your homie pulls your pants down. It's just like, bro, like, you got to leave, or you got to fight him. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be a bunch of fights in the stadium, or motherfuckers leaving. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sit around if you're a Chiefs fan. If you have on a Chiefs jersey, you have to get up and leave. You have to. Like, if you're wearing the Chiefs jerseys right now and you're at the Super Bowl, leave. I'm doing you a favor. Trust me. Like, you don't want that embarrassment. Just leave. Try again next year. Like bro, like you can't sit around when you're 34-0. You know what I mean? Like that's just not a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just not a thing. It's just not a thing. You got to get the fuck up and go. You know? Like how? Like how are you getting skunked in the Super Bowl? I don't get it. I mean, I'm a little upset because I lost 1,000, but what the fuck? That's what I'm saying. Imagine if people paid $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for those tickets, and they're sitting there like what? That's crazy. Weekly chart here on the ES. Damn, I just remembered. Let me see 1 second. I just remembered I had that as well. Yeah, it's just fucking crazy. And the crazy thing is, I was gonna bet on the Eagles, but I'm not gonna lie. When I seen so many people saying the Chiefs, I went with the Chiefs. I was gonna bet on the Eagles because of my boy Eric. He's a diehard Eagles fan. Here I am. I fought the trend. Weekly chart, ES. Obviously, same thing here. Still maintaining those higher highs, higher lows. Kind of forming this little base here over anything. Chart's still bullish though. Chart's still very bullish. Daily chart is kind of, you know, this is what we see, right? This is what you see in uptrends, right? You see that nice little rip, and then you get that consolidation. Now the consolidation is the hardest part to trade in, right? That's where we're currently at now, is that consolidation phase where the big question marks in the air, because, you know, two things are going to come from this rally base, right? We're going to get that rally base rally into new all-time highs, or we're going to get that rally base drop into a pullback. So this midpoint here is kind of like, in my opinion, the no trade zone for sure. So it's definitely going to be tough conditions as long as we're still in this range. But there are some big levels that we have to trade from. And if you're looking at ES here, this is what I really want to talk about right now, is obviously we test that supply. We have our all-time highs, 61, 62, 61.47 being that lower high, and then 61.20 being the reject from Friday. So we now have produced two lower highs from those previous all-time highs, which every time we've dumped, right, we've seen it time and time again, is we had that massive dump, demand test, following week, rip Monday to Friday, test that supply, dump into Sunday, Monday to Friday, rip again into the supply, and then obviously here we are now. So like I said on NQ, is what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like what are we doing? You know what I mean? Are we going to continue this cycle of Sunday dump, Monday to Friday rip, Sunday dump, Monday to Friday rip? Is that what we're doing? I mean, it's a tricky chart now, because it's like you can't rely on what's happened previously. You just can't, right? Like, obviously the market's repetitive in the sense it makes the same moves and the same caliber, but it's not repetitive in the sense for us to say, hey, it's going lower because it did the previous 2 weeks. So it's just tricky, you know what I mean? It's tricky. But as of right now, as you guys can see, ES is sitting in this major supply, 60, 70, 60, 80. So in my opinion, as long as we are below this, you can use this as a reference to go short, back down to that 60, 20. Line in the sand here is at 6,000. You can watch that break and hold below 60.20 into 6,000, but below 6,000 is where that downside really gets ugly, back into that 59.50. And upside, very simple, right? If we reclaim the 60.75, that's where we can look for those pullbacks to go long, targeting that 61.20. I do think with CPI this week, hopefully it'll break the range, right? Like I think it will. I think it will personally. I think it'll break the range. This week. I do. I think it'll break the range. I do think it'll break the range this week. I could be wrong, but I do think it'll break the range this week. I do think it'll break the range. But I wanna fast forward over here to NQ real quick because of one thing. We just tested the top of that base here and we rejected again. So what I'm looking for here, for a position right now, is if we can wick a little bit higher and fail, you know what, I'm just going to take it. I'm short NQ. I'm short. And we're just going to keep a stop above those highs. We're just going to do it like that. 80's our stop. 61.25 is our target. It's a 3R trade. I took it. My average is 66.50. So from a risk to reward standpoint, yeah, it's a 3R trade. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right, we'll let that marinate. Chiefs finally scored. Nice. I think I had like a parlay or something. I can't remember what it was. I put a lot of shit in. Alright, you guys, that's what I'm watching on ES. That's what I'm watching on NQ. Since we're on NQ, let's go over to QQQ here. And just to, reiterate the type of action we've seen recently is look at this daily chart, right? Look at this daily chart on QQQ. We've literally seen the same thing week after week, right? Literally the same exact thing over and over and over. It's honestly pretty crazy. I've never seen it this bad before. You guys see here, open Monday, rip into Friday, supply, dump into Sunday, Monday, rip into Friday, test supply, dump into Sunday, Monday to Friday, rip into supply, and then obviously we had that rejection Friday. It's just crazy. You know, it's crazy, 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 crazy. Really is crazy. But QQQ levels correlate to NQ. Right now, levels we need to be watching. Obviously, these could change a little bit overnight, but big level here on QQQ, 525, 526. If we push back into the supply here, this is where I want to watch for a reject to go short. Downside, very simple. If we can get a break and hold below this 521, that's where I want to look to go short, back down to 517, ultimately targeting that 510, 511 area. Upside, very simple as well. If we can get a reclaim of that 526, we can look for a long position back into 532, and that 534 ultimately is going to be the line in the sand for upside back into those all-time highs. And that's the game plan on QQQ. SPY level is going to correlate to that 60-70, the supply I was talking about on ES. That is going to correlate to 603, 50, 605. So what I want to watch here is a pushback into this area for a reject if we show weakness. Downside, very simple. Below Friday's lows, the big 600 psychological level. I think the downside can get very aggressive back down to 595, even down into this 590 level, which is the big pivot you guys can see here. That's that big line in the sand. Upside on SPY, not really interested unless we get back above 605. We get above 605, we can look for that long back into 608, 610. That's the game plan there on SPY. Very, very simple. Our NQ trade is working a little bit for us. Obviously, I want to see a lot lower, up like $100 right now. If you want a quick $100, that's up to you. I don't want $100, so I'm gonna hold a little bit longer. But if you want a quick $100, there you go. Have at it. Alrighty, let's get into these individual names for the week ahead. And first things first, we got Affirm. Affirm, Affirm, Affirm. I'm not gonna lie, man. The viewer count tonight is super low. Is that because of the Super Bowl, you think? Is that because of the Super Bowl? It's crazy. People would rather watch that fucking blowout than the Sunday Live. Do. It's crazy. Alrighty, let's get it, y'all. Stop loss on NQ is 21,680. Target is 21,625. It's a 3-yard trade. That's what's up, Neil. Alrighty, let's get it. So, Affirm, as you guys can see, earnings Friday. Massive gap up here. Broke this major structure. Beautiful weekly chart. I'm honestly a little pissed at myself. We were watching this last week for a swing, and I didn't take it, but it's all good. We'll catch it this week. Nice rising volume on the weekly. Nice daily closure. Game plan here is, as you guys can see, we have a huge demand here. So if we can get a pullback into 69, 67 area, that's where I want to look for a demand bounce. Or if a firm can get above that 76.8, that's where we can look for a long position back into 80 plus. And that's the game plan there on a firm. NVIDIA, absolutely love this chart. You guys can see here, this is a beautiful chart. Tested this macro trendline support. Nice bullish engulfing on the weekly. Nice decent volume. Nothing crazy, but this NVIDIA weekly chart looks amazing. Daily chart art also looks very good. Had that failure to go lower. Nice strong daily close while the market sold off on Friday's session. Closed back into this major resistance here at 130. Game plan on NVIDIA is very simple, right? If we get above 130, go long, go back to sleep. That's simple. 136, 140 is the target. I think NVIDIA above 130 can get absolutely parabolic. Yes, I am short right now. I am down $100. Honestly, might stop a little bit early, but we'll keep it on the back burner. I'll let you guys know. This is the main watch. If the market gets strong, this is the main watch. NVIDIA above 130, this can get absolutely insane. I know before you guys say anything, Roku is not my favorite to trade, but I do love this chart for a few reasons, right? One, we're maintaining these higher lows into this major resistance here at 87. What I want to watch on Roku is if we can get a clean break and hold above that 87.20, I think this can get parabolic just like NVIDIA. You guys see we have a beautiful flat top here, making these nice higher lows into that flat top. Nice strong closure on Friday with rising volume while the market was selling off, heading into earnings. I think Roku can make a very big move if we can get a break and hold above 87.20. Next level is up there in the 95, so this is definitely a top long watch as well. NVIDIA and Roku I love the most if the market gets strong, and that's what I'm watching here. Next we have AMD, kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum here. AMD's been an extremely weak link, right? If you look at this chart here, AMD's been getting slaughtered, down 50% from all-time highs, multiple lower lows, multiple lower highs here on the weekly, full-blown downtrend, nice rising volume on that last week's close once we broke that structure. In my opinion, I think AMD's in for a lot lower, or shorts are going to get squeezed out. So I'm watching AMD this week for a big move. I think we can make one if these conditions are met. First things first, major supply here on AMD, as you guys can see, 113, 113.50. If we push back into the supply and we show weakness, I am open to a reject here on AMD off that 113, 113.15. Downside, I'm open as well. If AMD can break and hold below 106.60, I'll be very confident going short back down into this 100 level. If we pull back into this 100 level, that's where I want to start to look to flip long for a demand bounce off this macro psychological level of 100. All right, so that's the game plan there on AMD. Absolute beautiful chart. Keep it on a close watch. As always, like you keep you guys prepared. Like I said, if AMD somehow gets strong, shorts start to get squeezed out. What we can watch here is if we reclaim this 113.50, AMD can really get parabolic to the upside into that 120, potentially even that 125. So AMD has a very clean chart, very clean levels. Make sure you guys keep it on watch this week, set your alerts, and we can go from there. Next, we have Apple. Apple looks very good. Apple is a beautiful either-or setup for the week ahead. Kind of been a little bit weak lately to the relative weakness here versus the overall market. Nice week close on Friday, but what I want to put a lot of emphasis on is this drop base. You guys can see here, Apple dropped significantly after earnings, and now we're kind of forming a beautiful drop base here, which two things can come from this. You guys know it's either going to be a drop base rally. If we get above that 234, that's where we can look to go long on Apple back into that 240, 244, or if we get that drop base drop, we can look to go short on Apple below that 225.70 back down into that 220 level. So this is a very nice chart for the week ahead if we can break the range, and that's what I'm watching on Apple. And that's pretty much what I'm watching for the week ahead. Like I said, it's a big week. CPI, PPI, Powell talking twice throughout the week. We have some beautiful setups. So that's what I'm watching there on NQ, ES, QQQ, SPY. Looks good. Looks very, 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 very good. Now, got a couple other things we want to check out here. Let's see. We're very, very close to our stop right now. We might get stopped on NQ. Couple dollars away. Let me see. Yeah, we might get stopped here in a second. We might get stop-a-ronied. Might get stop-a-ronied here in a second. Very, very close to getting stopped. $2 away from our stop. Got a couple more things I want to check out here. I want to keep an eye on this NQ real quick in case I get stopped. I didn't have this on my watch list, but I do like this a lot. Coin approaching a major demand here. 265, 266. As you guys can see, this is absolutely huge. So coin can pull back into this demand here, 265. I'm going to look for two things. One, if we start to hold, I love this for longs. Or two, if we get weak and get below 265, I think this can be a great trade down into that 250, 240 area. So make sure you guys keep this 265 level on coin for the week ahead. I think that looks very good there. Microsoft, also want to keep on a close watch. We're approaching this major demand here, as you guys can see, at this 405, 406. So if we can get below that, I think this will be valid for a short as well. What else do we got? Google. You guys can see here, testing a major demand. Market gets strong. We can keep it on this for a potential swing position. If the market gets strong, this is huge, so we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, that's why I didn't put coin on the watch list. Just keep it on the side watch. Tesla also got on the side watch. Very weak on Friday. Broke that big demand at 363. I definitely think there's going to be some value here. Two conditions. One, the market continues to see weakness. Two, Tesla continues to see weakness. So I'm going to keep this on watch as well. I will update this tomorrow for you guys. And yeah, man, that's where we're at. Outside of that, swings. I don't think I had any this week. No, I don't have any nice swings I'm looking at. But yeah, man, that's what I'm watching for the week ahead. Very clean charts. Wow, we were so close to getting stopped there. We were so close to getting stopped. And we honestly probably will. If you guys want to close it for a smaller loss, it's not a bad idea. We just wicked down into this demand and we held, and we're starting to build higher here. So if you want to stop a little early, it's not a bad idea. I'm personally not going to stop early. My stop's at 21,680. I'm going to hold it through. But if you want to stop early, it's up to you. You know, I'm only risking another 5 points, so I'm not tripping about it. But yeah, man, let's get it. Let's get it. Do these giveaways real quick, and I'm gonna take my ass home and get me some sleep, man. We got a big week ahead of us. Super excited about it. Let's freaking go, man. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Checked out what we needed to check out. Let me see. Now we're good. We are good. Good. Yep. All right. Let me go ahead and move that over there. Alright, you guys. Let's get into this giveaway, and then we'll go ahead and call it a night. All right. Let me go ahead and fix that. We'll pull this up. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see. Bam. Keyword. Let me see. Keyword. Fuck it. Well, I don't know. We'll make it JPal, something different. JPal. All you gotta do is type it once in the chat, and let's get it, man. Let's get it. Before anything else, I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. I really appreciate you guys. You guys know I do this for y'all. And yeah, man. Very appreciative of you guys. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Let's have a great week for the week ahead. I don't know why these are being held for review. What is going on here? Oh, there we go. Fixed itself. Type it again, guys. One more time. She just doesn't get fucking messed up. There we go. We got a big week ahead of us. Big week ahead of us. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Chiefs got absolutely annihilated. Alrighty. Bro, what is up with this fucking thing showing as a... There we go. Fixed itself. Cool, cool, cool. All right, I'll give it another 10 seconds, and then we'll go ahead and rock out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Key 1033. Congrats, my man. Again, I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. Your time is appreciated. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And I'll see majority of you guys tomorrow, bright and early, for some live trading. Congratulations to Keaton33. If you're here, type in the chat as soon as possible. And where's he at? Bam. Or she. Attended a few lives. We'll let it slide. I'm in a good mood tonight, even though I just lost 1,000 on the Chiefs. I won, Brett said I won fucking 3,000 on that squares thing, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, man. If anybody's got any last minute questions, whether it's about me, trading, business, entrepreneurship, feel free to ask it. We're closing in on a very, 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 very big announcement for me, trading in general. I can't speak much about it yet, but I can say we're no longer counting down the months. We're no longer counting down the weeks. That's what I can say. It's about that time, man. Going up, 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 and away. But yeah, man, appreciate every single one of you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's live. I will see you guys up bright and early in the morning, all right? You guys have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Peace, everybody.